Welcome to The Engaging Life, a podcast about using engagement equity to improve your relationship building skills in your personal and professional life. And now, here are your hosts, Brandon Suba and Angela Cheney.
Well, hey, Angie, how you doing?
I'm good, Brandon. And you?
I'm good. I was thinking about this. I think I always start the same way with a, hey, Angie, how are you?
I think you're going to have to switch it up a little bit.
I guess I should have done that when I thought of it. Well, hey, all the listeners out there, welcome to the Engaging Life podcast. We've got a fun-filled episode. Shocker. This is one of my favorite topics. How about you?
You know what? All of your topics are my favorite topics.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
You bet.
Speaking of support, if you'd like, no. I had a whole plan for this. Check it out. So we're doing family photos tomorrow.
Exciting.
At like 7:30, 6:30.
In the morning?
PM. Nope, PM.
Oh.
Threw me off a little, but I guess, is that cool? Are people doing that, the evening photos now?
I don't believe I've ever had family photos taken, so
Like
I
in
don't
general?
know.
Oh,
No.
okay. Well, Liz is really good at scheduling them. So we're doing family photos. So I didn't shave my neckline. Normally, since we are on camera, you can go to our YouTube page and check out the Engaging Life podcast on YouTube, but I didn't shave. So if you want to see what my neckline looks like, because if I shave today,
And
I can't
who
shave
wouldn't?
tomorrow.
Who would?
See?
You
Thank
can't
you.
shave 2 days in a row?
No, because it irritates my neck.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's about every 3 days, and this is day 3, so I should have, but I'm waiting for tomorrow so I look nice for the pictures. That's my goal. And tonight we're trying on outfits and stuff. I still don't know what I'm wearing.
This sounds like a big production.
It is. No, we take family photos about once every 2 years, I think. Just kind of considering how the last 4 years have been, I guess you could say.
Sure.
And so tomorrow's the big night. Woo!
Okay.
So I'll let you know how they turn out.
So yeah, check out YouTube so you can look at Brandon's beastie neck.
Wow, when you say it that way. New polo, too. New polos!
Oh.
Okay,
Two reasons to check it out.
There you go. So check out our YouTube page. But that has nothing to do with the topic today.
Of course it does.
No segue whatsoever. Just trying to promote that you can watch us as we're doing the show. So today, we are going to talk about passing the perfect referral. Because we've talked about, what was it? Not passing. How to ask for the perfect referral,
Correct.
right? So now let's say you're talking to somebody and you have a great opportunity. Let me give you a little background, though, of my first year of being in a hard networking group. You ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So I sold countertops and a decent sized group, I think right around 20. We were a morning group, which I still don't understand how I ever did a morning group. But what I learned was countertops are very much a want, not a need.
Correct.
And I think in a lot of the networking groups, there are more needs versus wants. And I know you don't need a mortgage, but you do.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, if you want to buy a home, right? If you're at that point in life. So I did not get a single closed quality referral my first year.
Wow.
And coming from, and I think that has a lot to do with why I care so much about educating people on the right way, not the right way, the effective way
Right.
to do this stuff, because I was on the other side of just getting and this is the worst, hey, give so-and-so a call. And so what I was getting was, I called them organized cold calls, because I didn't have to look up the number. Somebody gave it to me.
Okay.
But it was still straight a cold. And I had people, why are you calling me? Who are you? My favorite, I think, was, no, we would never do a remodeling kitchen, or we'd never remodel our kitchen in this house. And I'm like, great. So
Fantastic
when
referral.
are you moving? Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, to me, now, my first year, a lot of it had to do what I was saying, right? I was using anybody and very broad. And if they're looking to remodel their kitchen or their bath, give me a call. I just want to give them a quote. I really was trying to make it what I thought easy
Right.
for them to refer me. But what I did is I made it too easy for them to send me garbage.
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
I don't think anybody did it 100% intentionally, but I very much had...
There's always that one.
Well, let's ruin Brandon's weekend, make him work, which I work on the weekends. But what it really was is, I heard my brother-in-law talk about remodeling their kitchen. You should give him a call.
Right. So
Okay.
there was no introduction beforehand. There was no
Nope.
qualification of the referral. It was basically, I'm sitting here, I don't have a referral. Oh, his is broad enough that I can schmooze this one in there.
And once again, I don't think anyone ever's like, oh, this door prize looks pretty good. I got to get a referral in for it. They were trying to help me, but it really hurt. It hurt me more. And it got to the point where when people said they had a referral for me, my expectation was so low on it that I think I struggled with follow-up on it sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody wants to call and have them be like, who are you? What do you want? Nobody wants
an
that.
organized rejection call, right? For your week. So what I'm going to share with you is the steps that I always took when passing a referral, because I got so dang excited when I had a referral. I wanted to make it flawless and perfect. But what I found was a lot of my referrals closed because they were more qualified, and it gave me great credibility with others, hence maybe why they tried to pass me more referrals that weren't always the greatest. So, okay, so step one is you're at a group, you're talking to somebody, and they say, I need my carpets clean. No, that's a service. That's a service. And I'm going to talk about the service opportunity versus not. Because if you want your carpets clean, I'll throw a name out. Boom, got this.
Right.
Let's use countertops then. Because that's a bigger ticket item.
Okay.
That you're not always, okay. So I found out somebody once, that's a quote too.
I'm curious.
Yeah, that wouldn't work either. Yeah.
Real quick, go off topic here, but on topic.
Nothing new.
How much did it cost to get a countertop covering?
Oh yeah. It was between, depending on the size of the kitchen, $2,300 to about $5,000.
For all the countertops in the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
Not always.
We're having our kitchen remodeled at this point, but it's completely gutted.
Well,
so
that's
I was
different.
Just curious.
That's very different because yes, we were an overlay, so it was more remodeling. It was silly when people tore out their kitchen because we had to put a countertop down.
Right, and I'm not saying I would do it. I was just kind of trying to compare and contrast what an overlay would have cost. We're getting a full granite slab.
Oh gosh, no. What happened was the big shift that happened. Kind of why I got out of the industry was granite and quartz prices were coming down, and the company I worked for was a franchise, and so you had to buy the product from them. Well, their costs were going up.
Oh, so it was starting to become not even
comparable.
Okay.
I would walk in and quote somebody, and they would give me another quote that they got. Everything that I offered included, sometimes more, and I was like $1,000 more. Mm-hmm. And as you're doing a kitchen remodel, $1,000. I mean, that could be all of your hardware for the whole kitchen. So it got very difficult. I hung in there, though. I did hang in there until I got to go and do networking
and you worked
for a
with
living.
My good friend, Kim.
I did. I loved Kim.
Yeah.
Kim taught me a lot about kind of standing up for myself a little bit more because she...
Oh, Kim would say whatever.
She absolutely would.
Was on her mind.
We're not going to share any grand transformation stories. So, okay, but why we got off topic, I thought of the example that I was looking for. I want to meet the CEO of company ABC.
Okay.
And somebody in the group knows who that person is. Should they just say, yep, here's their phone number, here's their cell phone, give them a call? No. Because what that does is that hurts credibility for everybody. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just going to call and make a sales call, right?
Right. And also maybe the CEO of XYZ company doesn't want their cell phone being given out.
Oh, shocker. So when you have a referral opportunity, and this can be in the service industry, but a lot of the times if you're giving quotes or you're doing a service, you love phone calls. Like it's just part of the job. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a big introduction, though, that I'm asking for. And let's say now I'm the person that knows who that CEO is. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to the CEO.
Correct.
We'll call this person Jeff. That's my dad's name.
Oh.
All right, so Jeff.
Jeff of the not approving of your haircut.
Yes.
Ilk.
Yes, and by the way, if you want to see my haircut,
Brandon's father does not approve of.
He did not. And you can check out our YouTube channel and see the haircut. It's growing out.
As well as his beastie neck.
I'm working on it. I'm just hairy today.
And new polo.
Oh my gosh, that's right. So many reasons to go.
Don't even look at me. There's no point to even look at me. Everything is about Brandon.
We're going to split up today. This is my show. Thank you very much. It's our show. This is our show. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Jeff and I'm going to say, hey, Jeff, I know somebody in the insurance field. They have a great product or a great service that fits really well for you. Is it okay if I connect you to? Mm-hmm. Now, this is a phone call or text message, depending on, but this is not an email, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because, well, I guess it could be an email. But
I would totally email it.
It would be an email. But you're not including anybody but you and Jeff, right?
Correct. Okay. Correct. It's not a three-way.
But we'll get to the three-way because It is
On
important.
YouTube?
No. Let's not talk about the things we've learned this morning. So, okay, so I'm going to call Jeff, and maybe Jeff then says, oh, ironically, that is a conversation that we're having at the office. I would love the introduction.
Sure.
Okay, so by doing that one step, I've eliminated the cold call for the person in my group.
Mm-hmm.
I have made the person that I'm referring excited for the phone call. And if you've ever called on a referral, you want to get the, I've been waiting for you to call versus the, who are you?
Yeah.
Why are you calling me?
And you've also opened up the opportunity to end the referral right there, because it's very possible Jeff is going to say, we already have that. I don't need that.
We just switched. Yeah, something on those
All
lines.
the things that they're going to say that means, no, don't have them call me.
Well, no. And from a sales standpoint, if you can, if somebody can come and say, hey, I thought I was going to make this referral, I didn't, it was a no. Well, they took the no for me. And I'll take a no all day long.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I didn't have to put any effort into it. Okay, but in this case scenario, so Jeff said, yep, yeah, that sounds great. Connect them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 different ways to make a connection.
I thought we were going with the 3-way.
Well, it's on there. See, 3-way coffee. I specified on the copy.
Uh-huh.
So the first one is the email introduction. This is something you can do from your phone, from your I was going to say tablet. I guess that's kind of specific. You can easily send an email.
Are those even a thing anymore?
They are. I think tablets are more than laptops, really. Although you're a laptop guy.
I'm a writer.
You are, so you need it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you can set up an email, and this is going to have the person that you're referring, the person that asked for the referral, and yourself. Obviously, you're sending the email, and you make the introduction. I always like to do Jeff, and I'm going to use you as an example of this. Okay. So Jeff and Angie, or good morning, Jeff and Angie. And then I would do Angie, the referral that we were talking about, Jeff, this is their email, and I got the okay for you to connect. And then I would go, Jeff, this is Angie, the person I was talking about. I wanted to connect you guys. And then I'll do a line of like, good luck and let me know how it goes.
Right.
And I do like the reply all. Like, I don't mind staying on it, but to me, if they don't keep you included,
that's fine.
It tells me your credibility is really good with the other member, because they took the referral and they ran with it.
Or they don't know how to use email.
Meaning they don't know the reply all
button?
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
Because I've heard people use it too much.
Oh, I've had horror stories about replying all and realizing I've put something in there that shouldn't be in there.
Oh, that's why. See, I never use
kind
reply
of like
all.
the group text.
Ooh.
Where you forget that one person's on there and you say something about that person. Never done it. I've never done it.
Never accused of that. So an email. Nice and easy. Great way to get everybody in there. And I put a lot. I probably put too much information in there, but I don't mind. The next one. Take them to a meeting or an event. So, Angie, I know that you're going to be at this networking event, so I'm going to invite Jeff to come with me as a guest, or if it's at the group. I think, and I guess I wrote face-to-face on here, and that's similar too, but I think that's a really neat way to get credibility for you before you have the conversation of the business, because Jeff gets to see you networking or gets to hear your weekly presentation, or if you could be the presenter that day, that'd be even better, right? Yeah. So bringing them and counts as a guest if you track that sort of stuff, and you're also building credibility by bringing people to a networking event. So I think it's a really neat way if it's business to business. Now, if your mother-in-law is asking who you recommend should clean their carpets, I don't think you should drag your mother-in-law to a networking event just to say, that guy. Call him.
Yeah. And anyone who brings a family member to and then counts them as a guest when that was always kind of a shady deal. And hey, there's my 14-year-old daughter. I'm going to mark her down as a guest because she didn't have school today.
So, I was in a group, and the HVAC guy, his mom was just the funniest. She had the over the hill 40 cane that she got as a gag gift, but she used it.
Oh goodness!
And had all the tchotchke stuff on it. She subbed for him all the time, and it was funny. But
subs are different.
I just thought I would never have my mom go. I mean, I feel she would say some good things, but then I also think that she would be like, "Oh,
it almost
one
becomes
time Brandon did this."
A little bit of a joke.
Yes, especially with her.
Yeah.
Not stupid cane. I'm sorry if you like your over the hill cane and you still use it.
It became a gag.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Now the next one, I like this one. I've got a great story with it. So a 3-way introduction. Three-way, and I put coffee on here. Of course, you can do lunch. I'm a big fan of coffee because then you're not trying to stuff your face while you're trying to have a
I
conversation.
hate eating lunch with people.
Right?
I mean,
And everybody plays the game though. Well, you got to eat lunch, so why don't we just eat lunch together? I'm like, well, because I'd really like to have a conversation with
then
you.
you think something's in your teeth, and then who pays, and then
Oh, and I have been told by my mom, as I'm bringing up my family a lot in this today, that I eat horribly with some foods, like chips. I'll just jam like 3 chips in my mouth with sauce on them. I think it's a good way to eat it, but it is not appropriate. Popcorn, whole handful.
It's a lot of landmines in the whole, especially if you've never met them before. I've had a few of those.
Oh.
And they're awful. You've never met someone, you're trying to eat, you're trying to order, you're trying to figure out who pays, you're trying to get to know it. There's just way too much going on.
Yes. Yep. So that's why I love coffees. So this was a unique situation. It wasn't necessarily a referral. It was kind of a growth opportunity within a networking group. But my wife started working with this other guy, and he had never done commercial lending before.
Okay.
And they're like, well, with your new position, you have to do commercial lending. I had a commercial lender in my group, and I was like, would you mind sitting down with him and just tell him the benefits of networking? Because this guy's like, no, networking doesn't work for what I need to do. And my wife's like, no, it's exactly what you need to go and do.
Right.
And so I set up a coffee, and we all sat down. And those two started talking about banking stuff. And then they started talking about people they knew mutually and all of this. And here's my recommendation. If you do this, set up an out. Give yourself about a 30-minute out. Because I sat there with these guys for 2
my
hours.
gosh, and you had no way of
Nothing.
just bopping out.
Nope, because I felt obligated, and this was before I was really in the banking world, so it was just mumbo jumbo to me. I did not care. So the connection was phenomenal, but I really wish I would have given myself the opportunity to leave.
So again, I'm going off topic. That's what
You're
I like to do.
off topic today.
With the coffee and the lunch, we've already talked about that. When is it appropriate to invite somebody for drinks?
Okay, and one thing that we pride ourselves is we have the female and the male,
right?
Because I think it's different. I always throw out drinks because I enjoy old fashions,
right?
So I will always throw it out. But I would probably throw out coffee the first round.
And the way I do it is because there are a lot of, we're talking about landmines with lunch, drinks. Many more.
Like alcohol.
Because number one, the person might not drink. Number one, the person might have a problem. Did I say number one?
You
twice?
said it twice. Yep. So we're on number 3 officially.
Number 3, especially a woman inviting a man,
could be
taken the wrong way.
Yep. And I feel a man inviting a woman could be taken the wrong way too.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of that going on. My personal situation, my husband doesn't care if I go to have drinks with a male.
Yeah,
but that is my situation.
Right.
Other people can be different. So usually what I do, because that is my preferred method of meeting people, you get relaxed, but I always give 2 options. So I say, I'd love to meet for coffee or a drink sometime.
I think I throw a beer. Not that I'm going to drink a beer, but yeah, coffee or a beer.
Yeah.
But I would say, I'm trying to really, really think back. Anybody that it was our first one-on-one meeting, I had built a relationship with them before to throw coffee. I'm in a group with them or we've networked together or something. Mm-hmm. But if it would just be, if it would be an introduction. Hey, Brandon, so-and-so, I think you two would mesh or, they can use your product or service. I probably would go for coffee first.
Okay.
And that's from the male's perspective.
Right.
Just because I don't want it to come out something that it's not.
Right. And then the other thing, one of the places in town here that I like to meet at is called Stories because it's a coffee shop and they have drinks.
That's right.
So if you are meeting, if you want to have a drink at 10 o'clock in the morning, I don't care. But if you're meeting at 4 o'clock, and this actually happened to me once, we were meeting there at 4 o'clock and I got a beer and it turns out the person I was meeting was ex-alcoholic, recovering alcoholic, sorry. But I mean, it really wasn't awkward. He said, I don't drink anymore. I'll grab a coffee.
Yep.
And I said, is it okay if yep, absolutely. And it was
Good.
fine because the options were there, which if we would have actually met at a bar and he was the type that would have come, he wouldn't have said anything beforehand. He was just, and then it would have been, not that he couldn't have gotten a soda or something,
but that's still, but you're in an environment where primarily it's drinks, where at a coffee house you have a lot of drink options.
Right. And where I was usually the only one drinking.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Oh, well.
I went to an Optimist group. Like I visited them and it was all teachers and we met at a bar. And it even had like happy hour in the name, I felt. So I was like, oh, I'm really looking forward to this. And so the waiter comes and it was like water, water, water,
oh my
water.
Gosh.
And so, and you know me, I followed suit. I was like, oh, I guess I'll take a water. And then once we got into the conversation, the waiter came out. I'm like, I'll take a beer.
Yeah.
Actually, because this is going
and
nowhere.
A shot. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Well, I just saw teachers happy hour.
I know. Oh, we had a group that was, again, I think it was called Leads and Libations or something.
That's a good name.
And many of them did not get drinks. It's like, why'd you join a happy hour group if you're not going to drink?
And I have a few more stories. I guess they're there for the network. I don't know.
I know.
That's a tough one.
That time of the day probably works well for them.
Sure.
Not everybody's like me that hears happy hour and goes, ooh, drink.
I know, but that's why we do a podcast together because
that's why we get along.
Get that feeling.
That's why we get along.
Okay, so three-way coffee. Once again, I think that's the most personable, and you're there for credibility for both of them. That whole thing. And then the last one is face-to-face. And you can use all of these, except for the email, obviously, to do the face-to-face. And a text message, a phone call, those all fit in, I feel, into that email category. But I always feel once you have the okay to bring two people together on a time that mutually works for them, they didn't have to schedule an appointment. They didn't have to go out of their way at all. This was just what they planned to do anyways. I think that's a great opportunity to bring them together and gain that credibility. So, okay, so let's think about this. The last referral you passed, how did you pass it? How did you pass it? Did you ask first? That's such a big one to me. And the reason I go back to that so many times is all of the, I don't want to call them crappy referrals. All of the frustrating referrals would have been avoided if they would have called the person first before they gave it to me.
They would have just put a little legwork in it.
And we're talking minimal, right? Like, hey, Angie, are you still doing that kid? Well, look at right now. You're in the middle of it.
Right.
And I always make the joke, but I'm serious. If you pull your kitchen out and you haven't lined up your countertops yet, you are a psychopath.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Like, yes, because you don't. Okay, right. So have you asked? And then once you asked.
I do have our countertops.
Well, I'm a little hurt you didn't have me help pick a color, but I'll get over that next week.
I didn't even have my husband help me pick a color.
That's why you call me.
I just went and did it.
Well, that's probably for the
I'm very decisive.
And I'm really good at letting you make the choice anyways when it comes to color. Okay, so did you ask? Did you ask? And I bet a lot of you didn't. I'm going to be honest. I fell into this category too, but asking makes such a difference. And then how did you make that introduction? Did you go so far as to make a face-to-face? Doesn't always work, but when it does, it's phenomenal. Okay, so we've got all this going.
Okay.
You have met with Jeff, and it went really, really well. So do I just blindly hope that everything worked out great?
Of course not.
No. Now, if you are in a networking group with this person, that does make the follow-up a little easier because you'll see them. But let's say you don't see them for 3 weeks at the group. I'm nervous now that they quit their business and job. So I made I scheduled an appointment a week from the introduction to follow up with both parties.
So you were proactive.
Yep, and I scheduled it.
Smart.
So I had to do it. Right. Not on my to-do list. This was a scheduled appointment. Right. And what I would simply do, preferred method of communication, so text, email, whatever it was, because I've already did the legwork, I would just say, hey, Angie, did you connect with Jeff? Or, hey, Jeff, did Angie connect with you? I knew kind of whose ball the court was in for the most part. So where this is important is you could lose your credibility without even knowing it. Because I told Jeff, I have Angie. She's going to take care of your problem. He's excited now, but...
And then Angie drops the ball.
Angie dropped that ball.
Yeah.
Not this Angie.
It's never
she never drops the ball.
Never.
But this hypothetical Angie.
I've heard bad things about her.
I'm not not walking down that path. I'm not doing it. So this way, when you follow up, you're building credibility across the board, and you may save a deal.
Yeah.
You may save a deal if that was.
Because a lot of the times Angie did not drop the ball because she's a terrible person.
Right.
She forgot, or the email went to spam, or, there's a lot of reasons why that connection might not have been made. And so to be the facilitator of it,
correct,
just enhances your credibility even more.
Yep. And as far as I'm concerned, if I was passed a referral, dropped the ball for whatever reason, and the person that gave me the referral saved the day, I want to help them out so much.
Absolutely.
I want to get that back to them.
That is a deposit into their equity account. Yes.
Okay, and then I love this one. Expect nothing back. And I know you talk about this a lot. It's my favorite, and I knew the saying, but I didn't use it until you did. But the tit for tat, right? And when here's the thing though, chances are you haven't done all these steps anyways.
Right.
If you're a tit for tat mentality,
no.
Because your goal is to produce the referral. That's it.
To produce the referral so that you can get one as soon as possible.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. So if you expect nothing back, you will reap the benefits more than you'll ever know.
Absolutely. And again, it does come with a limit, a boundary, because I try and talk about boundaries when I have a chance with engagement equity, because it's all about giving, but there have to be boundaries because you can give too much.
Yeah, you've said that, and I love that, where if you're always giving and you never ask, then you kind of become the creeper.
You are, and you're the either the creeper or the doormat, or you make people uncomfortable. Or, there's a lot of reasons. You have to make an ask at some point.
Absolutely.
But not, I gave you something, now give me something back.
Right. And it may be, and it may not even be a referral that you're asking for, but you are withdrawing.
Correct.
From
Once
your deposits.
You've given enough, then you have earned the right to ask for something, which again, might not be a referral. It could be, we're having an open house. Can you show up? It might be, can you introduce me to somebody? It might be, can you have coffee with me?
See, I think that's a big one for me. Oh, got something in my eye all of a sudden. There we go.
Oh,
hey, you can see that on YouTube if you want to see me pick at my eye for 2 seconds.
Pass.
You got to see it.
I did.
But for me, I like to make deposits because when I finally zero in on an introduction that I want, it's very easy for me to ask that person.
Right.
And I think for me, the deposits is credibility that I've earned, or that I can ask for this now, and I'll probably get it. And then the last step to this is repeat. Treat every referral this way, and you will reap benefit. I've said that twice now. Treat every referral this way, and you will see better results than what you're getting now.
Yes.
Because your mindset is changing. You're doing more work for the other person, which is always beneficial. Don't be a doormat, though, right?
Right.
And you're making more quality referrals because you're able to get rid of, or what's a better word? Eliminate the bad ones, or the ones that weren't going to work out.
Or at least
anyways.
reduce them.
Reduce. I think I was going for reduce, because not every referral is
There's always
going
to be a bad referral giver.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sometimes you pass on somebody and they're the nicest people, and then you follow up and they're like, I hated that person. Kim, I recommended a carpet cleaner that I love to Kim. We were talking about her earlier.
Yeah.
And there was a dog poop controversial thing, and she was livid.
Dog poop controversy. That'd be a good band name.
It would. Actually, probably a ska band, I feel.
Yeah.
Punk rock band. So hopefully this has given you the opportunity to change the way that you're passing referrals. Because as much as we learn in the referral world, we learn how to ask for them, we learn to give them credibility, how important it is, but I don't think anybody really drills into the best way that you can provide a referral or make a referral happen, because we don't focus on the end result. We focus on, okay, I got that referral passed. Okay, I made that connection. Where really that's just a piece of the whole pie that you want to get into there.
Absolutely.
So, Angie, any final thoughts on this one?
I don't think so. I think that we covered it very well.
Awesome.
And by we, I mean you.
Oh, thank you. No, we do this together. We're having the I, me, you thing today.
We are.
But we are one. We are one. So thank you, everybody, for giving us a listen today. I hope you got something out of it. Check out our YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you're listening to this episode, you probably isn't your first, so hopefully you've hit that subscribe button. Check out our YouTube channel so you can see our very pretty faces, and we look forward to talking to you on the next podcast.